aqueous humor, the lens, and our zone of interest, the retina. The retina touch upon both membrane, which allow the exchanges between the choroid and the retina. In more detail, the retina is composed by different types of cells as photoreceptors, the cones and the rods, which transform light signal and integrated in an electrical signal to the brain. Now, just to remind you, metabolic syndrome was described by Riven in 1988 as a cluster of symptoms like insulin resistance, glucose intolerance, increase of triacylglycerol, decrease of circulating HDL, or visceral obesity. These symptoms seem to increase risk factor for development of type 2 diabetes, knowing that 30 to 40% of diabetic patients could develop a microvascular complication associated to diabetes called diabetic retinopathy. In one hand, our previous work put in evidence that metabolic syndrome induced by a pro-diabetogenic diet, a fructose diet, could constitute a favorable environment for the development of neovascular complications in the retina. On the other hand, some studies show that omega-3 could also improve few features of metabolic syndrome. So we hypothesize that omega-3 could also improve retinal consequences associated to metabolic syndrome. So now, concerning the objective of this project, we wanted first to test the effect of long-chain polyunsaturated fatty acid, EPA and DHA, and the different features of metabolic syndrome induced by our pro-diabetogenic diet, the fructose diet. And then, in the second part, we wanted to evaluate the effect on choroidal neovascularization and also the functionality of inner retinal cells. Concerning now the animals and the diet that I used in this project, I performed my experiments on a lot of rats, 40, 65 vulnerable rats, 6 weeks of age, which were divided in 3 groups. The group A consists on the study of photoreceptor sensitivity using flicker electroretinography. The group B focuses on the study of functionality of inner retinal cells using scotopic single flash electroretinography. And then the last group, the group C, was our choroidal neovascularization model. In each group, all the rats were submitted to 4 different diets. First, a standard diet, which serves as a control diet, and then the pro-diabetogenic diet, the fructose-enriched diet, and also the both same diet, but with a supplementation in omega-3, EPA, and DHA. I need to precise that we worked at different time periods of 3 days, 8 days, 15 days, 21 days, 1 month, and 3 months. But I will just present here the long-term diet period of 1 month and 3 months. Now, concerning my results about the impact of omega-3 on physiological parameters of metabolic syndrome. First, concerning insulinemia, we put in evidence that the fructose diet induced an hyperinsulinemia which was not improved by omega-3 after 1 month and 3 months of feeding. Concerning now leptinemia, no relevant effect of the diet was detected except after a 3-month diet period for standard omega-3 fed rats. Now, if we have a look about the evolution of body fat assessed by echo-MRI, as expected, after 1 month of feeding, fructose-fed rats develop an increase of body fat. But surprisingly, after 3 months of feeding, not only fructose-fed rats, but also supplemented-fed rats develop this increase of body fat. So after this bad news, a little bit of hope about the effect of omega-3 on liver steatosis. We performed here some experiments evaluated the triacylglycerol levels in the liver. And you have to know that fructose diet is widely known to induce liver steatosis. So as expected, fructose-fed rats develop an increase of triacylglycerol levels in the liver, but supplemented-fed rats improve these conditions. Now, if we look after the effect of omega-3 on retinal consequences, first, in fact, diabetic rats are not able to develop spontaneously diabetic retinopathy. So we used a choroidal neovascularization model induced by laser impact in the book membrane in order to simulate conditions of neovascularization. So after that, we follow the evolution of neovascularization using a scanning laser ophthalmoscope angiography. And in one hand, we use an argon blue laser associated to intravenous injection of fluoroselene for retinal angiography. On the other hand, we use an infrared laser associated to intravenous injection of indocyanine green for choroidal angiography. And then we assess the quantification of neovascularization using imaging software. So as you can see here, some images extracted from angiography. So you can see here the vascular network, and here the laser impact. The fluorescence corresponds to the neovascularization. So after 1 month of feeding and 2 weeks after laser-induced CNV, we put in evidence an increase of neovascularization in fructose-fed rats, which seems to be improved in supplemented rats. But after 3 weeks after laser-induced CNV, not only fructose-fed rats, but also supplemented fed rats developed this increase of CNV. So now let me show you a very interesting fact that happened in my supplemented rats. In fact, as you can see here, pretty normal angiography of standard on fructose-fed rats. But if we look in detail the angiography for the supplemented rats, it seems we put in evidence zone of abnormalities. So we wanted to characterize this zone and try to understand what could happen in the retina. Is this atrophy? Is this edema? So in order to characterize that, we realized some optical coherence tomography. So this exam consists to visualize the retina in vivo, and it's widely used in humans. So as you can see here, we distinguish a decrease, a reduced retinal thickness in fructose omega-3 fed rats. So in order to confirm that, we perform some eye cryosection associated with hematoxylin counter stain, and we put in evidence loss of the outer nuclear layer on the retinal pigment epithelium. So we conclude here on a retinal atrophy after 3 months of feeding, which was also confirmed in standard omega-3 fed rats. So now let's look about the photoreceptor sensitivity. So we used the flicker electroretinography for this examination, and this type of electroretinography consists to induce light stimuli with a fixed frequency and a progressive intensity. So in these graphs, the first peak corresponds to the maximal response of Roth's photoreceptor, and the second peak to the maximal response of Cohn's photoreceptor. And as you can see, we put in evidence a shift to the right of the maximal response of Cohn photoreceptor in standard omega-3 and fructose omega-3 fed rats. So as described by Siliger, it corresponds to a decrease of sensitivity of this type of photoreceptors. And in fact, this photoreceptor need a bigger light intensity to be stimulated. So to conclude about the effect of omega-3 on physiological parameters of metabolic syndrome, not presented here, but we had positive effect on short-term diet period, like a decrease of leptinemia, insulinemia, or glycemia. But as you can see here, we had deleterious effect on long-term diet period as increase of body fat. Concerning now the impact of omega-3 on retinal consequences, unexpectedly we wanted to protect it, but finally we induced an atrophy of the retina in a CNV model under normal light exposition, and also an alteration of photoreceptors. So we hypothesized that an oxidative stress that could be generated by metabolic syndrome and could offer a favorable condition for deleterious effect of omega-3 in the retina, which were maybe in too high contents in our diet. So thank you for your attention. I would like also thank my team of research for their big help in this project. Thank you.